Greetings. Hi there. Let me connect all my other devices. Hello. Greetings to each every one of you. Hello, everyone. Let's see here. Give me just a minute. Let me connect all my devices. Hello. Hey there, Miss Debbie. How are you? Hello, everyone. Give me just a minute. Let me make sure everything is connected over here. I am live. Hey, everybody. How are you guys doing? Welcome. Hello. How are you guys doing? Just to let you guys know, we are broadcasting on Periscope, all three of my Facebook pages. We're on YouTube. We are live on podcasts, and we are live over here on Instagram. Hello, everybody. Welcome. So we're streaming live from everywhere. How are you guys doing? Happy Sunday to you too. Hello from Chicago, ATL. How's everybody doing? Yay. Well, I'm on early today. How's everyone doing? Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Hello, Beauty and Worship. How are you doing, ma'am? Welcome to my Periscope friends. YouTube. Hello, everybody. Hey there. It's Fathia, Chanel. Hey there. Hi, everyone. Hello and welcome. So I have to look over here for Instagram, okay? Tie-dye, you like my tie-dye? Thank you. Hey, New York City. Hey, Kent, Washington. All right. How are you doing? Thank you so much for being here. I'm killing it with the colors. Hey, y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let me get my glasses on. All right. All right. I want to knock nothing off. Hey, y'all. How are you guys doing? Hello. Hello. How are you guys doing? Hello and welcome. Hey there. How are you guys doing? Let me see who's over here. You guys come in quick. One private account. I wonder who you are. Can I know who you are? You want to tell me who you are? One private account. Hey, is Pashana, Anna, Ernestine, MK. Okay, hold on. Let me see. I'm sorry. Let's see. Sunshine, C. Cassidy. Let's see. Laadi, Clokerman, Coaching Spirits. Hey, how are you guys? Simply Miss Demetra. Hey, Tasha. Hey there. Hey, Amichalon. Hey there. How are you doing? Hey, Ireland in the house. UK in the house. Hello. First time live. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being here. So I get all the comments on one side. I get to see everything on one side. Cincinnati in the house. Hello. Australia in the house. Hello. I look bright. I look fresh, bright. Shoot, my stomach was full. I got a lot of rest. All that food was in my stomach. Hey there, y'all. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? Thank you so much. Clearwater, Florida. Okay, Bridget from that's Bridget. Hey, Bridget. Hey, Bridget. How are you guys doing? You are so welcome. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I got you way over here because my phone is charging. And so I have to keep looking over here. So I got over here, I got all three of the Facebook. Buenos dias to you too. Over here, I got all three of the Facebooks. I have Periscope connected. I got YouTube over here. And so hello to everyone over here on this side. Over here on this side, I got Instagram because I couldn't connect Instagram over here. And then let's see, over here, my smile look like Tiffany Haddish. Hey, she's pretty too. Now you said I look like Kevin Hart. I would have clicked you off of here. Hello, and then I got live over here on Podbean. So I'm live on Podbean as well. Hello, everybody. How are you doing tonight? No one recognized. I know, right? I had to look closer. I'm like, oh, that is Bridget. Do I sell my energy in a jar? Nah, you got to be around me. You got to be around me. Let me look. All righty. So, yep, I am on all of my Facebook, and I'm on both of my Facebooks, on YouTube and Periscope. So I got you guys all connected in one spot. And over here, hey, Juanita from Chicago. Hey, Dan. Hey there, Joanna McMullen. How are you? Glad you are here. Thank you so much. You like my smile? Thank you. Thank you so much. Denise from Cosby Show. Who, me? No. No, I don't look like Lisa. Hey, from Atlanta. Okay, good, good. You stay safe. You stay safe. From the UK, okay. How do you do Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook? Well, over here, I'm connected to StreamYard. So StreamYard connects you to all of the channels at one time. The only one that it doesn't let you connect to is Instagram, because Instagram is a different platform that doesn't allow them to connect yet. So they haven't got an agreement yet. And Podbean. Podbean is my podcast. So I'm also live on podcast at this particular time. So those of you that just want to listen and not watch, you're welcome to do that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I apologize because I have to keep turning around and look this way because my camera is charging. So at the same time as charging is over here on this side, is not in front of me. So I apologize, you guys, if you guys get the side of my head, okay? I didn't have a cord long enough to reach over here. But thank you guys. Let me just see. Hold on. We'll just see what we can do without... Uh-oh, I done turned off the light. Let me turn the light back on. Let me turn the light back on. Give me just a second. Hold on, y'all. Let's turn the light back on. Uh-oh. I think I unplugged the light. There we go. There we go. Then it's super bright. How's that? All righty. Okay, let me bring you guys over here so I can see you. Let me bring Instagram over here so I can see you guys. How is everybody doing? Hello, Cujo. How are you doing? All right, you guys got my big pie face in here now. So let me see if I can put everything together over here. Hey, you guys. How's everybody doing? Okay, let me cover some of this forehead. All right, there we go. How are you guys doing? Hello, everybody. Let's see all the comments down here. How is everybody doing? Oh, thank you so much, Miss Tiffany. I appreciate that. How is everybody doing? Thank you for getting me out of the most horrible narc relationship, and my hat's off to you. Thank you. So you're so welcome, Miss Lisa. I'm so honored that you would trust me. Thank you so much. Hey there, Miss Eve. How are you doing? Stevie Banana, hey. Wherever you are, I can't see you. Hey there. Doing great. Good, good. Thank you guys so much. Hold on, let me turn this around a little bit so we can see each other. How is everyone doing? From UK. All right, UK. How are you guys doing? Thank you so much for being here. Hey, Stevie Banana, how are you doing? Thank you for being here. Ola from North Carolina. All right, where'd North Carolina go? Hold on, I lost you. Give me a minute here. Let's look. Where'd you go? Ola from North Carolina. Hi, Iris. How are you doing? Hi, Eve. How are you? How are you guys doing? So I don't have different screens to look at. So all the comments. Hey, Deborah, how are you doing? So all the comments are coming on one screen. So I get to see you guys on one screen. So everything is on. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I wish I would have found you before he severely hurt me. But you know what? You know, unfortunately, sometimes your destiny helpers, those people that are meant to help you, come in at the right time. They come in right at the right time. And then think about it. Windsor, Ontario, okay. And then, you know, a lot of us will come into your life. The teachers, Portland, Oregon, okay. But we come in right at the right time to assist you when you're hurting or when you've been through something. And sometimes, you know, in life, you become greater teachers when you've been through something. When you've been through something. I don't know why my screen keeps going out. Is my screen going black over here with you guys on Instagram? Because it keeps like going in and out. My screen goes black. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hey there, Michael. How are you doing, sir? Thank you so much. Kentucky in the house. Can I cover boundaries? Give me 1 minute. Hello. Been divorced and single 10 years from narc. I turned the corner today and had a great date. Oh, look at you. See? Good job. Narc free 15 months. Good job. Hey, DeChaney. How are you? Montreal, Quebec. But from LA originally. Okay, welcome. Thank you so much, Miss Deborah. Thank you. Hey there, PR. How are you doing? Hey there, Marilyn in the house. How are you guys doing? Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm looking down at my podcast too. So podcasts can't see me, but they can hear me. So later on, they can go back and re-listen to what we talked about here live. So if you guys want to go to Podbean, it is a beautiful day in Washington. If you guys, hey, just be real. So if you guys want to go back and you just want to listen, you guys are welcome to go to Podbean. You know, a lot of you guys like to come and we can look at it. Well, you guys can look at me and I can look at the comments on here. Thank you so much for being here. He said, I just divorced one and published my book concerning being married to him. Good job. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to you. Total neck replacement is Thursday. Thank you for all you do. You are so welcome. I don't know what neck replacement is, but okay. Hold on, I got some smudges on here so I can't read. Okay, let me get some of the smudge off of here. 15-year relationship with a narc. He moved out yesterday. It was really hard. And you're going to make it. I promise you, you're going to make it. 1 year after breakup with narc, I did it. Good job. 35 days after 25 years. Good job, y'all. Good job. Good job. How are you guys doing? Okay, hold on. Let me clear the screen so I can see your comments. All right. From Paris. All right. Hello from Paris. Is it au revoir? No, au revoir is goodbye, right? How are you? How are you? Can I define narc? As a narcissist. Person with narcissistic personality disorder. How are you guys doing? All righty. You guys ready? I need to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Because of you, I've been able to turn my ex-narc marriage around, and it helped me heal and see the situation, an opportunity to grow. So thank you. So you're still, able to turn my ex-narc marriage around. So are you still in the relationship? You said ex-narc marriage, meaning like your ex, right? You're out of it, right? Okay, let me get my little cursor. Okay. Let's see. Got involved with one recently. He started to yell and find fault when I have done nothing to be kind. Hope he does not call me after again. Hope not. Hope not. Divorce. Good job. Okay, good. Bonjour. Okay, bonjour is hello. Not au revoir. Au revoir is goodbye. Bonjour is hello, right? Thank you so much, Just Be Real. I got some videos on that about dealing with a narc family that we can't leave. I got videos on that. Yeah. All right. Well, you guys ready? Poker Nut, you asked me that question. I want you to answer that question. Based on what you have learned, you tell me. You tell me what you think. Let's see. He's gone permanently. Okay, good. Good job. Divorce, no contact. Good job. Okay, so I'm gonna start just answering questions. You guys don't have to worry about time. I'm not gonna be on super duper long. Au revoir is goodbye. Okay, so bonjour is hello. Okay. You finally made it live. Well, hello there, Ashley. So I'm gonna just go straight into the question and answers. Okay, I'm gonna go into the question and answers, and I'm just gonna start reading the questions and answers and comments. Okay. All right. Let's see. You said my sound keeps going in and out. I just stumbled on this and I don't understand. What do you mean you don't understand because the sound is going in and out? Or you don't understand the sound going in and out? Hello, I know I'm on early today. Said bring it. It's brought, Stevie. It's brought. Good morning. If it's more, good afternoon. Okay, oh, let me get my glasses on. Okay, here we go. Let's see. So healing from many narcs, too many LOLs, learning lessons, getting your mojo back. Good job. How does one heal? I want you to get into counseling or I want you to get into coaching, because that's a very general question, because each person has experienced same yet different stuff. So that's a very general question. So you would need to get into coaching so I can figure out what's going on with you and then determine whether you need coaching or whether you need counseling. So that's a very broad question. a very broad question. Each individual story is unique in itself. And so everybody's story is unique in itself. Each one of you are very different. The narcissists have the same MO or the same method of operation. They just have different supplies, different socioeconomic supplies. And so each person that you're dealing with, they're dealing with, each person that they're dealing with is different in themselves, but they have the same personality disorder. How to pick a counselor? Someone here on a podcast said, how do you pick a counselor? Well, if you're dealing with domestic violence, which narcissist abuse is domestic violence, that's what it is. And it's perpetrated by an individual that we assume, based off of what we're learning and based off of the characteristics, the behaviors and symptomology of a person that possibly has a personality disorder known as narcissistic personality disorder or cluster B personality disorder. And when you pick a counselor, normally you don't want to pick a counselor by saying, do you know what narcissist abuse is? Or do you know what narcissism is? A lot of them understand what it is from the perspective of how we're learned in school. What the personality disorder is. And you're not always focusing on physical abuse. It's psychological abuse as well, Mr. Ralph. So it's psychological abuse. Usually before you even get to a physical abuse, you're dealing with psychological abuse. And especially dealing with a person that may have narcissistic personality disorder, a lot of them may not physically abuse you. And so when you're looking for a counselor, you look for a counselor and you ask them if they understand post-traumatic stress. Do they understand complex post-traumatic stress? Do they understand psychological abuse? Do they understand, for example, parental alienation? Describe the characteristics, describe the symptomology that you're wanting to treat, and just ask them, do you understand? And you may ask them, do you know what narcissism is? Do you know the behaviors of a person that has narcissistic personality disorder? Do you understand how they abuse? And so there's nothing wrong when you're looking for a counselor for you to ask the counselor questions. And I always invite all my clients, ask me questions to see if I'm a fit for you, because every counselor is not a fit for you. So that's the best way. Hey, Class Pro, but they're not, everybody. And hello, Mr. Ralph. I apologize for not speaking first, but everybody is not qualified to be able to provide counseling for people that go through domestic violence, or particularly in this situation, when you're dealing with a person that possibly has narcissistic personality disorder. Those are the questions that you want to ask the therapist. One size does not fit all, y'all. Every therapist is not trained or understands narcissistic personality disorder, we understand it from the clinical point where we learned in school about the treatment of the disorder. But let me put it this way, therapists that understand what narcissist abuse is or personality disorders are, understand that is a non-treatable disorder. That is a non-treatable disorder. Matter of fact, if you listen to one of, I think it was Dr. Ramani, is it Ramani or Ramani? Ramani. If you listen to one of her videos, she actually talked about that narcissistic personality disorder is non-curable. Is not curable. And so many clinicians are looking at the disorders from the perspective of treating the disorders. They're not looking at it from the perspective of helping and treating a survivor or a victim of domestic violence. That's what I'm referring to. So a lot of therapists are looking at it from the perspective of treating a disorder. So you're looking for a therapist that is, well versed on maybe domestic violence, sexual assault. Ask them what their training is. What is their training when it comes to trauma therapy? Trauma therapy. Ask them what they know about trauma therapy. Dr. Romani is the best. She's the first thing I watch when I wake up each day. Well, thank you so much. She is a professor. Yes, she is a professor. So she works in a educational setting in college, and so you're getting professional advice from Dr. Romani when it comes to the educational portion of it. I provide you with a lot of information dealing with experiential, what I've been through within the clinical setting, how to put this information together and then give it back to you, And so you're welcome, Alexandra. You are welcome. Yes, my therapist didn't get it. I'm trying hypnotherapy. You're trying hypnotherapy tomorrow. My therapist even apologized for not catching on earlier once I explained. See? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, coaching spirits. Thank you. Thank you. Uh, Family members can be narcissistic, which is destructive family dysfunction. You must separate yourself from anybody that's offering you negativity, harm, protect yourself. But you got to be careful when you give people that type of advice, because there's also legal ramification when it comes to people leaving. Hello, parasailing from the UK. How are you? But you have to remember, you got to be careful when you give people advice about leaving relationships with a person that is in a relationship with a narcissist, because number one, depending on what state you're in, if you leave with the children, you can be they can get you for kidnapping. And so it's best to connect with a domestic violence agency, an advocate, or someone that can assist you in escaping your abuser. Because other than that, the courtroom is their playground, and they'll do whatever they can to become a victim and to smear your name and to make you look like the most horrible person in the world. Always remember that. Dr. Bryant, you are a jack of all trades, very knowledgeable, informative. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So, oh my God. Oh, well, hey there, Tiffany. I'm glad you came on here. Thank you so much for being here. How long does trauma or the memory tend to live in the body without any type of help or intervention? How long does a disease stay in the system if you don't treat it? Depends on the person. It also depends on what you've been exposed to when you were younger, because some people may have had their first experience with a narcissist as an adult, but some of you come from homes that had narcissistic parents, toxic environments. Some of you have been abused. So you've already had a history of childhood abuse, neglect, rejection. And so it really depends on your experience, for those people that is the first time happening. Each person is unique. So I really can't give you a definitive number or time that is going to stay in your system. I can't give you a time, because each one of you are unique and have been through your own personal experiences. Do you have a video on what to do with red flags, how to react, respond, how to walk away safest in the beginning upon meeting a narc, what to do once you see red flags? I have a lot of videos on there that will help you. A lot of videos. Now, y'all know I'm going to make videos and I'm going to talk to you, but sometimes when you guys are asking me questions, you're wanting me to do coaching or counseling. So that requires you to make an appointment with me. So there are videos on there. You can get videos, and you got to remember, when y'all get free stuff, you get spoiled, then you don't want to pay for services. So that's why a lot of people don't put a whole bunch of information out. I put a lot of information out, I go above and beyond. So it's your responsibility. You go through there. There's over 300, maybe 400 videos on there. You go through there and you can find almost any answer that you're looking for. The narcissist stalks after 3 years. Courts here in New York City are really behind in times. The narcissist showed up to the court one time in 12 months, only so he did not get a warrant. He then moved. Okay. I hate days like this where all I can think about is the past. I just want him dead. I hate him so much. Pashana, most people feel that way when they have been betrayed, when they've been hurt, because what these narcissists do is, these individuals that have narcissists, they have personality disorders. They're dysfunctional in their thinking. They're dysfunctional when it comes to relationships or being in a relationship with people, and so it's very, very painful. It's very, very, very painful what you've been through. And yes, most of the time that's how people think, but you have to get yourself to a healing. There is no closure with a narcissist, and you have to bring yourself. You were 19, he was 40, he took advantage of me. Yeah, you were a kid, you were a baby. And so, of course, a 40-year-old man taking advantage of a 19-year-old. 19-year-old doesn't have life experience. A 40-year-old does. Not just a life experience, sexual experience, and they know what to say. And a 19-year-old mind is a very young mind. You don't have any experience. How can someone be so cruel? That's a person that has a disorder. A person that has a disorder is all about taking care of themselves. But once you begin to heal, and once you become to embrace yourself, that you are a warrior, you got out of it, you're alive, you'll begin to stop hating them so much and understanding that they are dysfunctional. They will spend their life dysfunctional, and the older you get, the worse they get. And don't let them be cute. Don't let them be a somatic. That's even worse. because as they age, they look, they become horrible. A lot of them horrible. Are practical ways, things one can do while in the moment? I'm not sure what that question is. You got to talk to me. Problem is, we start to think everyone is a narc, including yourselves. That's right. I agree. Hmm. Thank you so much, Class 1 Probe. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for joining. I'm not quite sure a practical ways, things one can do while in the moment. I'm not sure exactly what the question means. Thank you for sharing the show. Thank you. Very nice show. There are many people on Being that will benefit from hearing you. Oh, I am so honored. Thank you, Class 1 Probe. I am so honored. I'm talking to my podcast. Just in case you guys wonder why I'm looking down, I'm talking to my podcast people that have joined. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Actually, this is the first time airing live on Podbean, and so I'm so appreciative that you guys have joined. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much, Dan. I appreciate you. Why do they constantly send pictures to the child phone and never communicate on the phone with the child? Because they're hoovering you. They want to hurt you. Everything they do it. And everything that a narcissist does is intentional. Stop thinking in your normal mind, thinking, am I, Dr. Strange, am I a feminist? Elaborate on that. Elaborate on that question. And tell me what you mean. Elaborate. But you guys have to remember, when you're dealing with a narcissist, a narcissist is a dysfunctional personality. It's the personality disorder. They from childhood, they grew up with a their personality has become dysfunctional. Put it that way. Something has happened in their childhood. And a lot of you know that not every narcissist was abused in a sense of where you're thinking abused. Many of the ones that I have met when I was, you guys have to remember that I'm a trauma professional. So in my clinic, in my business, I don't get normal cases. I've never gotten normal cases. None of my cases have ever been normal. When I say normal, all of mine have been very high, what's the word I'm looking for? High conflict cases all the time. And even when I have met those and I found out that they had narcissistic personality disorder, majority of every single one of them that I've talked to, every single one that I have come across, all of them have been sexually or physically abused, assaulted, neglected, rejected. And a lot of them come from families who had narcissistic parents. Or something toxic. Now, true enough, a lot of times the golden child, BPD is not the same, but it is a part of the cluster B personality disorder. I get to that in just 1 minute, okay? But you have to remember that something has happened in childhood. So even with the golden child is abused too. Some of you guys think that the golden child, yes, being the favorite child. No, it is the child that the narcissist has picked. And that child has to live their life according to that narcissist. And they know that they comply to everything that narcissist says and does and agrees with. And most of the time they become the flying monkey. They're just as ugly as the narcissist, because that's the only way that they get love from this narcissist. They live their lives vicariously through that golden child. And so that golden child grows up in believing that, they don't have any empathy. If you're not, empathy is something that is learned. You learn empathy from the people around you. And so if you don't, my light went out. Hold on, y'all. But you learn empathy. Empathy is something that is taught. Okay. Well, my light went out, so it's a little dark on the screen. Forgive me. But empathy is learned. And so a golden child is not learning empathy from anyone because they're dealing with the narcissist. And a lot of you that grew up around narcissists, even though you did not develop narcissistic personality disorder, a lot of you still had to learn empathy as you grew up. As I grew up, I had to learn empathy, so, and some of you guys are still learning empathy, especially when you come out of a family or grew up with siblings that have narcissism. And so you got to remember that a golden child is abused too. What about the scapegoat? A scapegoat is also abused. The scapegoat is the one that's going to pick out the pink elephant in the room room. That's why the scapegoat is always the one that the narcissist projects all the bad on. This is the dysfunctional child. This is the child that's not going to let you bully them. This is the child that's going to point out the pink elephant in the room. This is a child that's not just going to be quiet and let you just abuse them. They're going to have something to say. This is the one that might be the troublemaker, but that scapegoat also can become or develop narcissistic personality disorder. If we have an interaction with a potential narc and we get those furlings, what are the practical ways not to feed into it? Ralph, I have like 300 plus videos. Thank you so much. 300 plus videos, and like I break everything down practically. So it's kind of hard to try to get my, all that information into one focus. But if you watch the videos, I break it down. I break it down a lot. Thank you so much, Ralph, for asking the question. But I break it down because there's a lot of information. Thank you so much, me. But you have to remember that, each child can develop, even like the quiet child, the hidden child, the lost child, that child can develop narcissistic personality disorder. That's that hidden one that tries to stay away from drama, where the narcissist doesn't feel like you're even valuable enough for me you don't give me anything. You don't give me enough fuel. And so you have to remember that even when they, they grow up and they've been given everything, they're not learning empathy. So, narcissistic personality disorder can develop, but is not diagnosed in childhood, because a lot of the behaviors in child is kind of normal for development. It's a little normal for development. Children are selfish, they compete, and so, but usually by the time they get 19, 20 years old, that young adult, that personality has locked in. Now, some of you can look at the kids, even your own children that have developed this NPD, and you could tell there's a little something different about them. It's hard for them to hug. It's almost like they're happy when they see someone hurt. They don't mind setting you up and letting you get hurt. If you're in an abusive relationship and you have a child that may be developed, that you think they may be developing NPD, they don't mind watching you get hurt. And so you have to be careful, because usually when they get to 19, 20 years old, that personality is permanent. And so these narcissists, they have developed this personality disorder, and they have turned inward, and empaths turn outward. And so they don't have a way of, you can't see anybody's comments because of the fact that I'm probably on StreamYard. So, but a lot of other people can see the comments. If you go to YouTube, I think YouTube, you can see all the comments. But one, it's a permanent personality disorder. And so they're all about themselves. Everything is about them. And so that's why they become so cruel. And let me tell you something. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you were the secondary supply that came primary supply, or if you were the primary supply and they left for a secondary supply. They don't love anybody. They don't even love themselves, but they don't love anybody. Everybody is used for, there's a purpose. There's a reason why they're with that individual. And it's not because of love. Love is the farthest thing away from a narcissist's mind. They do everything for a reason. There's a purpose for everything. Everything. You see what I mean? And so everything is intentional, and they get with people because there's a reason why they get with people, not because they love them. You're the one that's in love with them. They'll never be in love with you, and they'll never love their children like you think they should love their children. They don't understand that concept. They don't understand. You see what I mean? And so I'm telling you, narcissists cannot love. They will not love. They experience emotions. They sure do. They experience fear. They experience anger. They experience rage. The fear is that you're going to uncover them. The fear is you're going to embarrass them. The fear is they're going to lose their mask, and they're concerned about what people see of them. That's why they try so hard to make themselves look a certain way, that grandiosity. And you have to remember that the fear of being discovered, the fear of losing their followers, their flying monkeys, if a supply, if you have a supply that has money, the fear of losing the money and the stability or the status that they have built, the embarrassment, it's all about the embarrassment. I don't want you to embarrass me. I don't want people to think that I don't want to be exposed. I don't want people to know what's really going on behind closed doors. But when it comes to love, love and nurturing, they don't have those type of feelings. That, in their brain, something has happened that shut all that off. It doesn't work. It doesn't function. There are so many narcissists we have to be able to help help them. Hold on. There are so many narcissists. We have to be able to help them. It's a repeating disorder. I want to help them. All right, Cindy, go ahead. Gonna jump into a shark infested water. If they haven't gotten help up until this point, what makes you any different than anybody else that has studied this for years and years? Girl, go ahead. And what I want you to do, now I'm not being funny. I'm not being funny. You know me, I'm a very straightforward person. You guys know. Is that Stephanie? No, who's that? Who said that? Cindy. It was Cindy who said that. So Cindy, what I want you to do, I want you to go for it. I want you to get all the education you can, and I want you to go for it. And I want you to jump in that shark infested water with those sharks. But what I want you to do before you do that, I need you to set aside some money so that you can set up an appointment with me. And what I'm going to give you a discounted rate for at least 10 sessions. And I want you to set that money aside. Then I want you to come back and I want you to give me a synopsis of what went right or what went wrong. That's all. That's all I want you to do. I'm just being honest with you. You can't help them. You'll forever be on a hamster wheel. Absolutely. There is no cure. There is no cure. Yep. There is no cure. She always feels sad or angry and swings to fake happiness. Oh, of course. Of course. They're happy when they get some fuel out of you, but that doesn't last very long. Then they got to move to the next place they can get fuel. Hey, Tom, how are you doing? How do I survive the silent treatment? It gets worse every time. Well, if you're going to stay in there, you just have to prepare yourself. That's what's going to happen because it's not going to change. So there's nothing I can do to help you, stay in the relationship and make this work. Go listen to the broadcast that I did concerning silent treatment, because as long as you in there, you just have to know that's what's going to happen. So your feelings are going to be hurt. You're going to be crushed. You're going to be hurt. There's nothing I can do to help you stay in that. That's just not me. I just can't help you stay in that. So there's nothing I can do to help you make it through these silent treatments. You have to make a decision whether you're going to stay, whether you're going to go. That's like asking me, what do I do to be able to take these punches? Okay, well, I'm not going to give you an answer to that because that's no different. That's abuse. That is abuse. And I can't help you stay in that. You have to make a decision whether you want to stay or whether you want to go. Be happy they're being quiet when they speak. Poop. That was a good one. Okay, let me see. Let's look. If the ex-mother stalks my social media, is this part of the smear campaign or a Hoover tactic? We had a good relationship. She always going to try to see what you're doing. Of course, she's going to try to smear you. She wants to know what you. She nosy. That's what narcissists do. They always want to know something about you. Yeah, they always want to know something about you. They always want to stay ahead of you. Remember, it's a game of chess. They always want to stay ahead of you. Always. I learned 4 years ago what narcissist abuse was. I was floored. Welcome to the channel. Yep. Welcome to the channel. The hardest part about it all to me is reversing the image in my mind that I've configured of my ex. I always remember her because of the happy moments and to make myself remember the bad. You guys got to remember that. Hold on just a minute, Jay Marie, and thank you so much. But you have to remember that, most people assume that when you're in a narcissistic relationship or a relationship with an individual that has narcissistic personality disorder, your assumption is that everything is bad. So the first thing you say is, I'll be able to avoid it. I'm not going to get caught up in this. Well, that's a lie, because they got you one way or another. And there were not always, even though it's a bad situation, all the bad outweighs the good, there's still good memories. Some of them are funny. Some of them are fun to be around. Some of them will make you laugh. Some of them are going to take care of you. They got money. They got, so there are beautiful moments in there. And that's what they'll use to keep you there, because they'll tell you to forget about all the bad times. Remember all the good good times. It could be, and I'm just kind of like hypothetical. There could be 10 wonderful things about this individual. You love the way that they laugh. You like their, they joke with you, that even in their jokes, though they're cynical, there's truth behind their jokes. They're actually attacking you. You don't even realize they're attacking you. And then there's 40 things that are horrible and you need to stay out of. But the thing about that cognitive dissonance is that the truth, but the feelings and everything is outweighing your truth. And so you're struggling between the two. You know what the truth is and you know what you need to do. But the problem is that you're holding on to all the good memories. That's what you have to do. Just like drugs. when you take drugs, I think cocaine is an upper, heroin is a downer. And some of you got alcohol, gives you some liquid courage. You can dance, and you find out after you stop drinking, you don't know how to dance. But when you on that liquid courage, you danced. What about, cocaine as an upper, a stimulant. And so, with that, you felt like you had extra strength and extra courage. With heroin, you went to sleep. You didn't have to think about your world. So there were some good things that came out of it, but it's destroying your body. You lose your money. You can't even live a normal life anymore. You're dependent on drugs. That's the same way with a narcissist. You got to remember why you're leaving the relationship. You have to remember why you're leaving the relationship. Hey, Daja. Hello, Mr. Be Great. Jay Marie said, can you talk about the silent treatment or discard as a form of abuse? Thank you, Dr. Brian, for everything. I have videos on that. I have videos on the silent treatment, and I have videos on discard. So I do have that. That's a part of the power and control cycle. It's a power and control. And yeah, I have 300 plus 400, I think, videos on there. But I do have that. The silent treatment, I just did that, I think, a week ago about not the silent treatment, but you being silent. And I talked about it, but there is a video on the silent treatment and the discard. You can find that on there. So thank you so much for being here, sir. Thank you so much. It took me 7 times to finally leave. So glad that I left. Think about how many times it takes a person to get off of drugs, So think about how long it takes a person to get off of drugs or alcohol. You're going to relapse several, even with methamphetamines. If you actually talk to someone, or like the drug and alcohol counselors, they'll tell you, 7 to 10 times people relapse when you're dealing with methamphetamines before they finally get it right. Thank you so much, Tess. Found Dr. C and Apostle Helen Sadler. Last December got me through stalking episodes. Good job. Thank you, Sydney. Bless you, Dr. Bryant. Thank you for help. Thank you so much, Sydney. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm so honored. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. Thank you so much for the donations. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. How they are so right and you're so wrong. Absolutely. It doesn't matter if you have a degree in nuclear physicist and you know your job. After they hang around you for about 30, 40 minutes or maybe a week, they know more about your job than you do, or they know more about your life. And then the crazy thing, Mr. B, Mr. B Great, I was telling somebody, I think I was on live one time, and I was talking about men and women. And it's amazing how you have a narcissistic female. Now, not all females are narcissists, but you're dealing with narcissistic females, and sometimes you're dealing with women that just know too much. But they'll tell you everything about how to be a man, and they've never been a man. They'll tell you how to be a man, what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to do it, but never, ever had an experience being a man. Likewise for, thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Miss Sandra. Thank you, Miss Sandra. How you doing? But even with like men, sometimes a man gives a woman, and I'm talking about narcissists, that gives a woman advice on how to be a woman, but you've never been a woman before. So how are you going to give somebody advice on something that you've never done before? But they're so convincing that they'll actually have you believing that they know what they're talking about. And then here we go agreeing with them. So when you're dealing with a narcissist, you're dealing with an individual and if you tell them they're wrong, oh my God, either they're going to convince you to change your mind and get mad at you because you have an opinion, or if it's something that's right and you're telling them about this is wrong, this is not right, and give them your point of view, or people give them their point of view, oh, you have no idea the hell is going to break out, because they're going to do everything they possibly can to punish you. They're going to do everything they possibly can to convince you that I am right and you are wrong. And a lot of you like, this is ridiculous. Make up a word and they will tell you what it means. Just good, clean fun. Absolutely. Shashashuan. And all of a sudden they're telling you the definition of it. You're looking at them like that's not even a word. Absolutely, Mr. Be Great. Absolutely. You are describing my mother. You should have met her. No, that's all right, girl. That's okay. Yes. Yes, she had my whole thinking she knows what she's talking about and destroyed my special event. See? Oh, Lord, don't let them get into your business. Let me tell you guys something about narcissists and business. Anytime, hold on, before I say that, Cheyenne, thank you so much. Thank you for all you do. What is hard to maintain? Why is it hard to maintain friendships after narcissist abuse? I avoid getting close to people because I'm distrustful of everything. Miss Cheyenne, you have to remember that it takes time to heal. And so a lot of times what you'll notice is, you know, you guys remember one thing. There is no such thing as perfect people. One thing that I learned, and I think it was a beautiful lesson. Now, you guys know that I'm a believer. You know, not everybody is a believer. I understand that each and every one of you have your own belief system. You have your own spiritual belief system, and I respect that. You know, me myself, I am a believer of Jesus Christ, and I usually, talk about my faith from time to time to let you know why I think the way that I think. But I respect each and every one of you. You just have to take the principle out of what I'm saying. Now, the thing about, for me in my healing process, I was connected to my mentor about almost 15 years ago, and that's Apostle Helen Sadler. That's who you see me talk about a lot. My mentor. Hopefully, you got to see the live that we did, and that's my spiritual mother. So those of you guys that have been asking, that is my spiritual mother. That's my mama, and she, not only was she my mentor, my counselor, my leader, my pastor. She was responsible for my spiritual care. And she took the responsibility as a mother to teach me how to be a woman, as old as I was, to teach me how to be a woman, to teach me how to be independent. And this is all the daughters that she has in the church. Every single one of us, if you meet any of us, you'll see that all of us are being taught by the same person. And all of us learn how to be women, how to be confident, how to feel beautiful, how to discover life. These are things we learn from her. And the thing is that the beautiful thing, she's about family. She's about teaching family, teaching us how to be family. And most of us in the church that we're under her, we've been together for 10, 15, some of them 20 years, been together that long. And it took us that long to discover that all of us have faults. And that even though people that have a right heart, we're going in the right direction. We live righteous, we live clean. There ain't no men coming in and out of our houses as daughters, as women. We try to teach our children. We try to be better women. We try to be better mothers. We business women. We all of the women that in that church, they're all successful women. And the men too. Don't get me wrong. All the men too, very successful men and women, business women. But the thing that we had to learn, because every single one of us were wounded women, wounded men. And one thing that we learned being around each other was that each and every one of us had our faults. But even though we had our faults, we had our certain personalities. A lot of us have narcissistic traits. We all learned that even though we are imperfect, and even though we may not always make you happy, we're going to offend you. But one thing that we do is we stick together and we love each other. And everyone that sees us when we go out, you can tell that it's not superficial, that we really enjoy each other's company. We stare at you, we'll text you, be like, girl, what are you doing? But we really, truly enjoy being around each other. We are a laughing group of women. We love, we enjoy, we have vision. We don't stay on the phone talking to each other all the time. We ain't got time for all that. But yet we understand that even though we don't have time to be on the phone talking all the time or hanging out, we don't hang out all the time. But when we do, we love to see each other. We enjoy each other's company. And then we got to go back home. Okay, I'm done with you. I'm going to go home. You see what I mean? And so it takes time, Cheyenne, it takes time to build trust. You have to get around people, a good tribe of people, and you watch their character. Each one of the women that I'm around or men that I'm around, their characters are right. They may not be right in their behavior sometimes, because we're all learning, especially those of us that have been wounded. We are dysfunctional. We were dysfunctional when it came to interacting with people, because we were always trying to protect ourselves. And so the longer we were around each other, the more comfortable we got to realize, she cut up sometimes, she be acting fool sometimes. Let me walk out the room, go to the other side or whatever. But we're family. Regardless, we're family. And anybody that sees us together, they know that we love being around each other. And it's not like an anxious attachment to each other. We truly enjoy being around each other, and that's women and men alike. So it takes a little while to get that out of your system. It takes a while to trust somebody, but then you also you have to learn to trust yourself. You have to learn to like yourself. You see what I mean? If you don't like yourself, who else going to like you? You see what I mean? Who's going to like you? Let me look. Okay. I have okay, hold on. Hopefully that helped you, Cheyenne. Hopefully that helped you. Okay, hold on. So could you please speak about how I can help my children ages 7 and 4 deal with a malignant narcissist father who they have to see every week for parenting time? That will require a one-on-one session with me, because that's a very broad topic where I need more information from you about your situation. So that would require a one-on-one with me. I need to. So sometimes I can't answer the question. I need to know more about your personal interaction with this individual. I have a new tribe to help me get through this. They're beautiful people, a tight family. I'm very lucky. CJ Marie, and it's going to take a little while for you to start trusting people, but you never trust people 100% because people are human. People people are human and people are going to hurt you. That's just how people are. If you come around me long enough, I might hurt your feelings too, or you might hurt my feelings and I just ghost you. I just ghost you and walk off. You see what I mean? But so you know, people are people. People are going to hurt your feelings. You can't 100% rely on people. You can't 100% trust people all the time because people are human. People are human. Cindy said, I'd love to be able to talk to you. I have insurance, no money. I left everything when they closed and totally relying on God for everything right now. Well, you can find, if you go to Psychology Today, you can go and look for counselors in your area. So you have counselors in your area. Unless you are in the state of Washington, you can make an appointment with me. If not, it has to be a coaching appointment. And I do not provide mental health counseling to those outside of the state of Washington, but I do provide coaching. So if your money is limited, then you would have to go to Psychology Today and you can look up counselors in your area. My ex-child's father keeps writing me about our daughter. He's locked up. Should I respond? I don't know a lot about your situation. So I don't know a lot about your situation. See, those are one of those situations I need to know more about your situation. Um, let's see. Yes, she had my whole thinking. She knows what she's talking about and destroyed my special event. Yep. See? Let's see. Okay, I understand. Do you have any general? Oh, let's look. Okay, I understand. Do you have any general knowledge about how young children are affected by malignant narcissist fathers? I'm so worried about my kids. I do have videos. You go look through my videos, and I do talk about the relationship with a narcissist. You have some that are that have pedophilia. I can't think of the general name of it, but basically, some of them are what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, come on, somebody help me. Is a paraphilia. They have paraphilia disorder. Some of them are what's the word I'm looking for? Pedophiles. I also have videos on how they compete with their children. How to. I also talk about like how they think when it comes to their children, competitive with the children, how to be careful with the children. So I do have videos talking about that in general. I do. New bank account, new phone, new email, new supply, and flying monkeys are his daughters and possibly other women. I believe that. But there's another one called paraphilia. It's paraphilia disorder where pedophiles or pedophilia falls under paraphilia. So paraphilia, I think it refers to like sexual deviancy or like sexual problems, and it like voyeurism, pedophilia, and different things like that. Yes, I did do a video on emotional incest as well. I did a video on emotional incest. You are so welcome. Help, my inheritance is stolen from my brutal narc brother who washes my Peyton's brain as his flying monkeys. What can I do? I have no idea what you were just trying to say. You have to go back, type that. That probably requires coaching. Triangulation, yep. So glad I gray rock my narc. He's trying to hoover me, but no thanks. Absolutely. Let me see if I missed anything over here. They're fun, but will also keep you in a fun house. As long as you're willing to be abused, they are much obliged. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Exactly. I got the power now to tell my story, become a life coach, and turn my pain into purpose. Good job, Audra. Audra Marie, good job. Uh, let's see here. Let me see. Did I miss anything? Is it possible to fully recover from narcissist abuse? Absolutely. 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 Can trauma affect your memory? Absolutely, especially dealing with a narcissist. That brain fog, that confusion. Oh, absolutely. It'll mess with your thoughts. For me, sounds very much similar to BPD. Don't understand the difference. Well, you got to go and check out cluster B personality disorder. Borderline personality disorder has a high percentage, or a high percentage of those that have BPD also have narcissistic personality disorder, and vice versa. However, not everyone that has BPD has narcissistic personality disorder. The symptoms actually, the symptoms of NPD and BPD actually kind of cross over. So you have to have a skilled clinician that's able to separate the two and be able to tell which one is NPD and which one is BPD. That's why it's called cluster B personality disorder. They all kind of bleed over into each other. You have antisocial personality disorder, formerly known as antisocial or psychopath, the psychopaths or the sociopaths, which is now called antisocial personality disorder. You have histrionic personality disorder. You have you have borderline personality disorder, and you have narcissistic personality disorder. Each one of them has different traits, and all of them kind of integrate with each other. So all of them look very similar, but you have to have a clinician to be able to determine which is what, to determine what is bipolar, borderline personality disorder, and which one is narcissistic personality disorder. So cluster B personality disorder, they all look very similar, but you have to have somebody with a trained eye and training to be able to separate them. That's why they all sound the same or look the same. Most people that I have diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder, or actually not diagnosed, but have referred them and asked for them to continue assessment to rule out narcissistic personality disorder, all of them presented themselves with borderline personality disorder. And those traits, and they look very similar to BPD. And then what I found out was there were other symptoms that presented itself that actually classified them as NPD. So they do cross over to each other. So it's not meant for you to understand, because you're probably not in the clinical field. You're not a clinician, or you're not well versed in DSM-5 or the DSM. You probably don't have any training when it comes to assessment, diagnosis, and referrals or anything like that. So it's not meant really for you to understand. You see what I mean? So don't rack your brain trying to figure it out. I mean, just get with, listen to people that know what they're talking about, and that you feel comfortable that's explaining that to you, because all that is in the DSM. But when you're in the DSM-5 is what the clinicians use, Diagnostic and Statistical Manual for Psychiatric Disorders. But we're trained in that. That's why we do internship. That's why we do not just internship, but we also do, I can't think of what the name of it is. But there's training that you have to go through in order to learn how to diagnose and how to tell the difference. And then when you do your internship, when you're actually out in the field, and then after you complete your internship, before you get your license, you got to, here in the state of Washington, there's over 3,000 hours that you have to spend dealing with people with different disorders. And so thank goodness I had the opportunity to be trained under a psychiatrist who dealt with disorders, but symptom management and medication. So she actually showed me what each diagnosis looks like when they came into my office, and she explained it in detail. And then she also explained what medication does, and when they're not taking it, when they are taking it. So it takes training to understand that. This is not something that you just watch videos that you just gonna pick up on. The basic information that you are that you're getting, this is informational purposes only. This is not meant to provide you with diagnosis. This is giving you an awareness of what to look for, and awareness of what you're dealing with to protect yourself, not to diagnose someone. You can't walk into a courtroom and just say that person has NPD, because the judge is going to look at you like, what qualifies you to say that? And what diagnosis did you get? Where did that come from? You can't you can't do that. That right there, that's a mistake that a lot of people make when they go into a courtroom. It's about facts. Where did you get that fact from? Mr. B. Great said, how do you become a life coach? Well, Mr. B. Great, I was trained in the military as life coach. In the military, and this is just me, in the military, and this is for those of you that do not have training, do understand. For me, I was trained in the military. Over 13 and a half years, the military spent hundreds and thousands of dollars to teach us how to be coaches. And in the military, we used to call it counseling. So we call it professional counseling, financial counseling, and it really was non-clinical counseling. But what we were learning to do, we were learning how to coach soldiers in career progression, school, financial, family, and balancing, so we learned how to do that as non-commissioned officers, and senior non-commissioned officers, we learned how to do coaching, general coaching, broad coaching. So all of my training comes from the military. My coaching experience comes from the military. Not only that, I later got back out. And when I got out of the military, when I retired from the military, of course, I went to school and I got my license in mental health counseling and continued my education as with the doctorate and Doctor of Education in Counseling Psychology, with an emphasis on counselor education and supervision. And so not only that, I included in that. So just to become a coach doesn't mean that you know what you're talking about concerning narcissist abuse. I went and I studied other things. For example, I went to the YWCA and I learned about, I got my certification training, 40 hours of training dealing with domestic violence and being certified to be able to provide services to those that are dealing with domestic violence. In the military, I also trained to be a sexual assault advocate for wartime situations. Right after that, I also had training with the Pierce County Sexual Assault to provide sexual assault advocacy and training. So there's a lot of training that I did to prepare me for what I do. A lot of it is domestic violence, but then I began to understand how people function with narcissistic personality disorder and how they abuse. What is their character? What is their MO? What do they do? And so this is what I learned. And so just becoming a coach, just training to become a coach does not qualify you to provide, it does not just qualify you to provide services for people that that have been through domestic violence or narcissist abuse. You have to get additional training. I also went and trained on a clinical, certified clinical trauma professional. So all that plays a role in what I did. Now, there are awesome programs out there for those of you that do not have that type of experience. There are programs out there that do provide coaching. Some coaching, you know, when you get under good coaches, is a little more expensive, but they will assist you with helping you set up your coaching practice and to help you do coaching, you know. But one thing that I emphasize, even when you go and get your certification or your training as a life coach, I always advise you to go get additional training concerning what you want to talk about. Your life experience is not good enough to help people come out of the situation that they're in. You got to understand transference and countertransference. You've got to understand, you know, talking to people that work in the advocacy programs, what other resources are out there for people that are in domestic violence. So just because you go get your coaching certification, don't stop your education there. Continue to build it, because you just have an experience from it does not qualify you to provide people with services or coaching. Yeah, you may be good at what you do, but are these people recovering? Are these people getting out of what they get out of? I believe in hitting the root. You know, we got to hit the root. And if you don't hit the root, they're still stuck where they are. And you see them bouncing from coach to coach to coach to coach. And a lot of times people are bouncing back and forth from coaches to coaches to coaches. You know why? Because they want to hear what they want to hear. They don't want to recover. They want to hear what they want to hear. And if you're not talking their language, you know, you got to be careful, because it can frustrate you. It can wear you out. And sometimes you just want to fight the people that you're coaching. But you have to understand trauma. You have to understand how people react when it comes to trauma. The one I knew told me no woman could afford him. Yup. He can't even afford himself. Yup. Because, I have some things in my head, but I'm not going to say it. Thank you so much, Jessica. I appreciate it. So Miss Rose said, that's true, Dr. Carmen. Yep. Some people are addicted to pain. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Some people are addicted to the pain. Exactly. You know, and sometimes they're looking for Hoover. You're looking to be Hoover too. So it doesn't matter whether they cuss you out. You're so welcome, One Private Account. Miss One Private Account, who are you? Because you kind of private. You don't want nobody to know who you are. You don't want me let me know who you are. Narcs can switch words around on you too. Absolutely. It's called wordplay, or it's called word salad. Yep. Dr. Bryant, thank you so much for all that you do. Your tenacity, knowledge, and selflessness has helped me stay no contact for over a year now, and I am still learning. I listen. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Did you ever take medication while going through it, Dr. Carmen? Nope. If you're comfortable. Oh, no, I've never been on medication dealing with. Well, let me take that back. Was I? I took medication for smoking, because I used to smoke like a chimney. So I took medication for smoking because that was my coping thing. So I did take medication and I did take sleep aids at one time, but my sleep aids was because I was in the military and I couldn't sleep, but anxiety and depression stuff, I didn't take medication for that. I did not. I kind of worked that out myself with my mentor. Yes, she really helped me stay no contact as well, almost a year. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you so much for trusting me. Do you think they can still use the kids to call you to get fuel just by hearing your voice? Oh, absolutely. They use thought fuel too. Think about what you're thinking. So they already assume what you're thinking, so they can get thought fuel from that. Mr. Be Great, did I answer your question, sir? Yep. Is there a chance to save my inheritance, which my brutal narc brother is stealing from my parents, which is his flying monkeys? You need to go speak to a lawyer about that. You need to get legal aid for that. You need to speak to a legal representative for that. I can't provide you with legal information. I don't know. You're going to have to get some legal assistance. My ex-narc, hold on, missed it. My ex-narc told me I needed meds. Thank God I didn't take any. Good. You look like you used to smoke. You are so beautiful. You don't look like you used to smoke. You're so beautiful. I'm glad you know. Thank you. I smoked while I was in the military. I used to want to fight my soldiers. Yeah, I used to smoke like a chimney. I did. Forgive me. I learned better. Some forms of narcissism are healthy, like the drive to think you can. The disorder comes when the ego is bigger. You think you can do it better than anyone else. They're better. It is when it becomes a problem. It's pathological. Pathological meaning that it's going to affect you. It affect the people around you, your family, friends, your work, and it causes a lot of problems. When it becomes very problematic, very problematic. My narc disappeared the day before Thanksgiving, and showed back up this morning offering to buy me something from the grocery store. Don't even answer, Shalonda. Don't even answer. Thank you. I agree, which is exactly why he shouldn't be a doctor or psychologist. Okay, I missed that. Sorry. Are narcs delusional, or that they are just lying? They're always lying. They're always lying. Their whole life is surrounded by facade and lies, and they got to create this perfect vision of themselves. That this is their whole life. This is what they do. This is how they are. Dr. Carmen, smoking is the hardest thing to quit. I stopped. I mean, it took me 2 or 3 times to do it. It took me a long time to do it, but I smoked for over 19 years, but I stopped. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Well, hey there from Hungary. How were you then? So one private account from Hungary. All right, well, welcome. Okay, let's see. Okay, hold on. Okay, let me see what I missed here. Pathology, a deviation from a healthy or normal condition. Absolutely, Stevie Bananas. Absolutely. Healthy narcissism should be turned into healthy self-esteem in kids. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Don't even answer your phone or text, period. There you go. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. It seems like my narc mother gets angry if I don't go along with her fantasies. Yeah. If you don't agree with anything they do or say, they're gonna try to pay you back, even if some of the dumbest things. My adult son began to speak to me like a pimp, trying to dominate one of his girls. I had to lock him out, but he broke in. Police came, but during COVID couldn't remove him. He's been here 2 weeks. I'm sorry, Marie, but you know what? If he does anything, just keep calling the police until they have him removed. You just keep on calling the police until they have him removed. I've been out of my relationship for 4 months, and now that the fog has cleared, I can see how sick my ex is. Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm trying to quit. Okay. Let's look. If I don't comply with her victim narrative, it is a problem. I just respond, don't react. Good job. Good job. Oh, absolutely. A lot of them will play the victim all the time. They do stuff, that's that vulnerable narcissist. That vulnerable narcissist, what people don't see, they see when people blow up. They see when people go off. They see when people cuss them out. But what they don't tell people, or what they don't elaborate on, is what all they've done to cause a person just to lose it. That's that vulnerable narcissist, and a lot of the narcissists, and then they play victim all the time. They're always playing the victim. Oh my Lord, they're playing the victim. Oh my, everybody does me this way, and why do people treat me this way? Those are the ones, when you hear that all the time, and all these people going off, and all these people doing them so wrong, you have to ask yourself, okay, what are you doing? What are you doing to cause all these people to go off on you? But they're always the victim. They're always the victim. Let's see. He's trying to pay me back. That's what they are. It sounds like it. Yes, the victim mentality. Everything is done to them. They play no part in anything that happens. Absolutely. Absolutely. I know. Okay. Narc, I know, had Article 15 in the past and other actions. Recently wrapped his car around a tree. Hold on. Where are you at? Wrapped his car around a tree, then ran from cops. Always gets out of things. Smooth talker, like lies like breathing air. Yeah, that's how some of them are. That is exactly how some of them are. And some of us sit back like, you never get caught. But there comes a time. Every dog has their day. What comes around goes around. Trust you me. And the more they get away with, the further they go up, the harder they fall. So don't think it's always going to be like that. It's not always going to be like that. They seem to always get away. Trust me, their day is coming. It always happens. They are always the common denominator. Not exactly. Let's see. Yes, that's my mom, hands down. I was her cheerleader and biggest supporter for years. Come to find out, she has been smearing me behind my back my entire life. Yep, you became an enabler and didn't even know it. Uh-oh. Aaron, thank you so much, Aaron. Going through family court with narc child's dad says stuff like, I'm on DSS and he has a newborn, basically saying he don't have a job to provide for our daughter. Let the court system handle that. Let the court system handle that. If you don't have a job to support your daughter, the courts are going to make him go get a job. They're going to be like, doesn't matter whether you have a kid or not, or another kid coming or not. What'll happen is you do your part and you take them to court. Let the courts determine. You may not be able to pay. You pay $10 or $20, but the court will tell him you need to go find a job. And if he doesn't pay, it can be $10 or $20. If he doesn't pay, he's going to be held accountable. So you do your part and you go through the court. Don't worry about whether he says he got money or not. Take him to court. That's what you do. Let the court handle that. Playing victim and a whole demon inside outrun faster than. I heard that narc suicide attempt threats are a form of hoovering. When I left my ex, his mom came to my house and told me he was suicidal because I made him leave. No, suicide attempts are a part of power and control. They control because they know that you will react out of emotions. So they think they can control your decision not to go, but it's just a form of power and control. That's another form of controlling you by threatening to commit suicide, which forces you to come back to check on them. Or they'll tell you, if I commit suicide, it's your fault. And when I die, you're going to have to live with the guilt that you allowed me to die, that you allowed me to kill myself because you, not the fact that I done beat you or I done bruised you, I done harassed you and everything. You know what? That's between that narcissist and that narcissist creator. We pray for the best, but you know what? That's between you and your creator. And they use that for power and control in order to, and it is a part of the Hoover, because if you haven't talked to them, they threaten suicide because they think that you're going to react, because if that's what you do and they think that you still care, remember the thought fuel, that'll make you reach out and talk to them. And when you don't, they may try to hurt themselves. They end up in the hospital to make you go to the hospital to check on them. But you have to remember, it's a power and control game. They want the power and control, and they know that you're going to respond. It's a hurtful feeling to know someone committed suicide, but overall, that was the decision that they made. Not that that has nothing to do with you. Absolutely nothing to do with you. This is too much. I have never felt this validated. It's terrible. There are so many people dealing with this. Absolutely. 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 You'd be surprised. I was shocked too when you guys started coming on. When you guys started coming on and started talking about, what you guys have experienced and gone through, it validated a lot of people because people thought that they were going through this by themselves. What are your thoughts on generational curses? Am I wrong for believing in generational curses? No, if you're a believer, those generational curses are real. And think about when you go to the hospital, if you got high blood pressure or diabetes, what do they ask you? They check your blood, and what do they ask? Does anybody in your family have diabetes? Does anybody in your family have ever had cancer? Does anybody in your family have high blood pressure or they ask you questions like that. It's in the blood, right? So there's nothing wrong with believing that. You're a believer, those things are real. All these married narcissists, can they ever fall in love, or is it always about few? It's always about few. They don't actually ever fall in love. And the sad part about it is that every new supply think they're in love, and they're not. And they make them feel so wonderful and so great. That's why it's so hard for people to leave them, because they're going to make you feel good about yourself, especially if they think you're getting ready to leave. But they never fall in love with anybody. They don't grow in there. They fall in love and they fall right back out of love. They don't ever grow in love with no one. They don't ever grow in love with anybody. It's all about fuel, and it's all about, what they can get out of it. Everything they do is intentional. Always remember that. I'm responsible for him getting arrested when he was 21. I'm responsible today at 53. Oh, well. Oh, well. They'll be all right. Let's see. By the grace of God, I stumbled across your page, and it was at that point I found out I had been dealing with a narcissist. Ever since then, I have been no contact. It's been 2 years. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Good job, Sharon. Good job. Hey, y'all. I'm getting ready to get off. I've been on here for a minute now. I think an hour and a half. Let me look. What's my time here? Well, hour and 15 minutes. But I'm going to get off. I'm getting ready to get off, y'all. And let me see. Okay, because I have another appointment I need to go to, so I'm getting ready to get off, okay? So I have another appointment I need to go on, and so I am getting ready to get off. And thank you guys, as always, so much. Thank you, Just Be Real, Stevie Bananas. Thank you all for assisting me, my moderators. I love you guys. You guys are always doing an awesome job. I really appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for all that you do for me. Thank you so much. And they take care of me, and I'll make sure I always take care of them. You guys stand by, too, because tomorrow I have my microphone coming in. My microphone will be coming in. My microphone, what else is coming in? My microphone, my headphones. I got my webcam set up and everything. I got this channel set up where I can integrate with all the channels. The only one I can't integrate with is podcast and Instagram, because those are different platforms. And so I'll be working on my web page. I want you guys to Wigology. I need you to talk to me, girl. I like wigs. You need to send me a link. If you're selling wigs and stuff, I need you to send me a link, girl. Go Dr. Carmen Bryant at outlook.com. If you selling wigs, honey, I need you to send me a link, because we love some wigs. I love changing my looks. But anyway, so I'm working on my webpage. I am talking to someone now in reference to a quarterly magazine, where I would like to interview people concerning, and these quarterly magazines, it takes me a minute to put all together, but the quarterly magazines, and I'm interviewing some of the people that you need some information from. I'm trying to find some lawyers. Of course, I'm going to interview Apostle Helen Sadler, her daughter, Pastor Kathy Gibson, and make sure you get her book too. It is, her book is Destiny Man's The Quality to Look For. Destiny Man, The Quality to Look For. Go on Amazon. It's Destiny Man, Qualities to Look For. It's Kathy Gibson. Make sure you get my sister's book. Make sure you get my book, Unmasking the Illusion of Perfection. Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can find it on there. You guys be patient with me. Like I said, I have my webpage. I'm creating classes. I just got my webcam, my microphone, and everything is coming in tomorrow. Thanks to you guys. Thank you so much for helping me. I do still want that camera, and the camera that I want is like $400 or $500. But I'll work with it. I got my computer up and running again, but I need a different laptop that can hold all the information to develop my classes. I'm working with someone concerning my logo. I'm also working with someone concerning a magazine. I want to do a quarterly magazine so that you guys can subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the magazine, purchase classes, or just subscribe to the channel so that once I start integrating over there, a lot of the interviews and things like that, when you subscribe to the channel, you'll get that as a part of the subscription, people that I talk to. And uh oh yeah, I got to get his book. Tell him he needs to send me one of the tell Quinn I need a book. Y'all tell Quinn I need a book, and tell him to send me a book as a gift, as a Christmas gift. But no, I'll make sure that I pay into it, make sure that he gets his money for it. But thank you guys so much for being here. Make sure you check out my mentor's channel, Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper. Make sure you you go to her channel, subscribe to her channel. My big sister has a channel on Periscope. It's Kathy Gibson. Look for Kathy Gibson, and she's got a phenomenal channel. My little sister, who is Demetria Fields, it is Natasha's Touch. She sells beautiful pieces. Now, this piece didn't come from her. I have the red one and a pink one that's coming in. But you guys go to Natasha's Touch. She does jewelry, and she comes on live on Saturdays, I think, at 6. Her and her sister have a channel, and they come on Friday at 6 or 8. 6 or 8. My big sister comes on Mondays at 8 o'clock. And then I come on Sundays, whenever we're finished with when she's finished with her channel. And so I appreciate all you guys. Thank you so much for being here with me. Those of you that are seeking coaching services, you can email me at drcarmenbryant@outlook.com, and I will provide you with prices, rates of my coaching services. You better get it now before I go live on my webpage, because right now is discounted rates, and I've been doing discounted rates for probably like a year and a half now. And the rates is just, thank you so much, Jill. You better get it now while there's discounted rates, because it go back to regular price once my website is up and going. And so let me think. What else? Those of you that need counseling, I cannot provide counseling to those outside of the state of Washington, but you can go to betterhelp.com/Dr. Carmen and get you a counselor. Remember how I told you to ask the questions, ask the questions like that. Thank you guys once again. Periscope, YouTube, on my Facebook pages, Instagram, and Podbean. I came on live on Podbean for those that would like to just go listen without looking at me on camera. But those of you that are on Podbean that have never met me before, you're welcome to go over to YouTube. It is Dr. Carmen Bryant, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful weekend, and I will talk to you later on this week. Thank you so much, y'all. Bye, you guys. Good night, Podbean.